Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're executing an institutional-grade deep dive into Kratos Defense and Security Solutions, ticker symbol KTOS. Let's get right into it.
So when you hear the phrase defense contractor, you're probably picturing massive aircraft carriers, sprawling shipyards, or multi-billion-dollar fighter jet programs. Well, scratch that. That is definitely not Kratos. Kratos is fundamentally a next-generation defense tech company. They aren't bogged down building expensive legacy platforms. Instead, they are literally laser-focused on the future of warfare. We're talking affordable, autonomous military systems, tactical drones like their Valkyrie XQ-58A, and advanced hypersonics. Honestly, it helps to think of them almost like a disruptive Silicon Valley tech firm that just happens to operate in the defense sector. They are building the exact types of smart, low-cost, expendable systems that modern militaries are suddenly realizing they desperately need. They're laying down the infrastructure for tomorrow's conflicts, and that includes everything from missile defense and space systems to microwave electronics and rocket propulsion.
Now, to really understand Kratos, we have to look at how their business actually captures all this emerging demand. The vast majority of their revenue, right around 75 to 80%, actually comes from Kratos Government Solutions, and that provides a massive, super stable baseline. But you got to pay attention to that remaining 20 to 25%. That's their unmanned systems segment. And make no mistake, this right here is the hyper-growth engine of the entire company. This segment, which features those Valkyrie drones and tactical autonomous systems, grew by an absolutely incredible 30.9% in just the first quarter of fiscal 2026 alone. Meanwhile, Government Solutions grew a steady, respectable 11.8%. So even though it's the smaller slice of the pie right now, that unmanned systems segment is the absolute rocket fuel driving the company's future valuation.
And it's this unique revenue structure that really builds out a highly distinct competitive advantage for them. When you stack Kratos up against absolute giants like Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman, the guys with massive scale who are dominating the skies with traditional fighters and space infrastructure, Kratos looks like just a mid-cap player. But here's the thing, that is exactly their strategic strength. By focusing intensely on these affordable autonomous systems, Kratos has carved out a seriously deep economic moat. In fact, they earn a solid 7.5 out of 10 moat rating from institutions. They're not trying to outbuild Lockheed on a next-gen stealth fighter, no way. They are building the autonomous drones that are going to fly right alongside that fighter, but at a mere fraction of the cost. Through their proprietary drone tech, their low-cost manufacturing, and honestly, by successfully navigating incredibly long, grueling product qualification cycles with the Department of Defense, they've made it remarkably difficult for the legacy primes to just pivot and undercut them.
So what does this all mean for the big picture? Well, the crucial point is grasping the sheer, staggering size of the sandbox they're playing in. $250 billion. Let that sink in. And actually, some institutional estimates push that up to between $250 and $400 billion over the next decade. This is the total addressable market for next-generation defense technology, autonomous systems, and military AI. To put that into perspective, it's a massive, undeniable tailwind as global defense budgets aggressively pivot away from merely maintaining aging legacy hardware to rapidly acquiring smart, scalable, autonomous combat platforms.
So what exactly is unlocking this totally staggering market? Well, it's a perfect storm of massive secular growth catalysts. You've got rising geopolitical tensions and significant NATO rearmament, alongside major Indo-Pacific military expansion, all of which are forcing allied nations to modernize rapidly. And then you have the sudden onset of AI-enabled warfare and the booming demand for autonomous combat aircraft. Specifically, collaborative combat aircraft, or CCAs, which is exactly where Kratos' Valkyrie drone steps right in. Add space militarization into the mix, which requires the kind of precise satellite payloads and space communications that Kratos already builds. You see, these aren't just abstract macroeconomic trends. They're direct, tangible pipelines into Kratos' specific product lines. The whole industry lifecycle for autonomous defense is still in its early growth phase, and Kratos has positioned itself right at the tip of the spear.
Crucially, though, these macro catalysts aren't just hypothetical narratives anymore. They are already hitting the income statement. We're looking at a historical revenue compound annual growth rate of about 15 to 18% and an EBITDA CAGR hovering around an impressive 20%. And if we look at recent momentum, their first quarter fiscal 2026 organic growth hit a very strong 15.8%. With incredibly strong bookings pushing their book-to-bill ratio to 1.6 times, they're currently sitting on record backlog levels. The demand for their technology is translating directly into highly respectable, highly consistent double-digit growth rates, plus both gross and operating margins are showing steady, solid improvement.
Which brings us to a very, very significant number for their fiscal 2026 outlook. $1.76 billion. Management just recently raised their full-year revenue guidance to a range of $1.70 to $1.76 billion, while also boosting their adjusted EBITDA guidance to between $170 and $176 million. This makes total sense when you consider they just posted a 22.6% year-over-year overall revenue jump in Q1, hitting $371 million for the quarter. You have to remember, this is an industry known for painfully glacial procurement cycles. So this top-end guidance? It's a very achievable reflection of Kratos' aggressive investments finally actually paying off. And management is even expecting stronger second-half revenue and margins as new manufacturing facilities officially come online.
But you know, every high-growth tech story has its friction points, and here is the core conflict you'll find on their balance sheet. While Kratos boasts really healthy liquidity, strong access to capital markets, and that massive growing backlog we talked about, they are fighting a totally unavoidable industrial dilemma. Scaling up physical manufacturing for advanced hypersonics, rocket propulsion, and tactical drones requires incredibly heavy capital spending. That rapid growth and the necessary inventory buildup naturally leads to temporary negative free cash flow. It's just the nature of the beast. You literally have to spend a fortune to build out the advanced manufacturing capacity before you can start selling fleets of drones.
And that cash burn directly explains our next massive figure, $1.2 billion. Kratos recently announced an approximately $1.2 billion equity fundraising initiative. Why? Because to capture that humongous $250 billion market we talked about earlier, they need to aggressively accelerate Valkyrie production, expand their capacity, and fund strategic acquisitions, kind of like their recent very smart purchases of Orbit Technologies and Nomad Global Communication Solutions. Now, this massive cash injection absolutely fortifies their balance sheet, but we have to be completely clear-eyed about this. It is highly dilutive to existing shareholders. It's a necessary, super aggressive move by management to secure long-term market dominance, but it definitely comes at a steep, immediate price to the folks holding equity today.
And because of that dilution, combined with those massive market expectations, we arrive at a critical reality. Kratos commands a steep premium valuation. Across the board, whether you're looking at price to earnings, forward PE, enterprise value to sales, or EV to EBITDA, KTOS trades at a stark premium compared to traditional, slower growth defense contractors. Basically, the market already knows the story here. They fully expect massive growth from Kratos' unmanned and hypersonic segments. Institutional fair value models show a base case valuation in the $95 to $110 range, stretching all the way up to $145 in a bull scenario. What this means in plain English is that the stock is objectively expensive today, making management's flawless execution of their business plan absolutely paramount. Any misstep in scaling production or failing to win those crucial autonomous contracts could trigger a really harsh re-rating by the market.
Let's logically lay out the return scenarios derived from these institutional models, because the divergence here is massive. The bull case projects a phenomenal 20 to 28% annualized return over the next 5 to 10 years. This plays out if global defense spending accelerates, autonomous aircraft are widely adopted across the globe, and Kratos successfully expands its margins. Honestly, even a base case of just continued execution and mid-teens revenue growth still nets a really solid 12 to 16%. Conversely, the bear case paints a much more sobering picture. We're talking -5 to +5% annualized returns. This happens if U.S. budget delays persist, contract wins slow down, and that shareholder dilution we just talked about ends up outweighing margin growth. As an investor, you really have to weigh the potential for tremendous compounding wealth creation against some very real execution and political risks.
So let's synthesize all of this into a final verdict. The core fundamental dilemma for anyone analyzing this company really centers on strategic momentum versus financial reality. Your top reasons to buy center on their unrivaled exposure to high-growth autonomous defense, a massive backlog supporting future revenue, and their status as a pure-play leader in affordable drones and hypersonics right as global defense budgets skyrocket. Conversely, the top reasons to avoid the stock are purely financial and operational. That steep premium valuation leaves absolutely zero room for disappointment. Then there's their heavy reliance on the notoriously unpredictable timing of U.S. government contracts, and of course the heavy capital investments that are pressuring free cash flow while diluting shareholders. It is a classic battle of massive strategic positioning up against a hefty current price tag.
Despite those undeniable risks, though, the institutional consensus lands right here, an 8.7 out of 10 conviction score carrying an overall buy rating. But listen, because of the inherent volatility around defense contract announcements and capital raises, the recommended strategy isn't to just buy all at once. The optimal approach here is dollar-cost averaging. Staggered accumulation during sector pullbacks or contract-related volatility is far, far safer than chasing sharp, headline-driven rallies.
For a core growth portfolio, analysts suggest keeping a 2 to 5% position size, maybe scaling up to 7% for highly aggressive growth portfolios. It's really about methodically building a position in a pure play disruptor over a 3 to 10-year investment horizon.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative question to ponder. Is the premium valuation, the temporary cash burn, and the heavy execution risk worth the gamble for a pure-play autonomous defense disruptor? Look at your own learning and your own investment strategies. If you are targeting an aggressive growth allocation with a long-term horizon, Kratos might just represent the exact type of disruptive asymmetry you're looking for in an increasingly complex world. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this deep dive helps you navigate the incredibly fascinating, rapidly evolving landscape of modern defense technology. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.